Hello, my wonderful friends. So today we're going to be talking about working your life away. Okay, so this is very important in terms of in terms of thinking about how you want to spend your life and whether you want to be in the office the whole time or not. And many times when you're paying your dues, you're starting in a career. It's said that we have 5 to 7 careers and 20 jobs in our lifetime. You think of things in your life as far as, okay, well, how do I want to spend my time at this time? And then your priorities change. I've seen people go up the ladder and then they downshift and come back down, or they try to rebalance their lives. So some people don't want to seek promotions, or they want to work a part-time schedule if they have children. And you have to define success for you and what matters for you. Is this making sense? So in other words, you want to define what success is in terms of helping you to live the maximum quality of life. Let me just move this here just to get a clearer background here. So is ever, I mean, so this is something you want to think about in terms of, have you ever found yourself saying yes, yes, yes to work, 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 and everything's going well, but then what you're doing is, in order to be very successful in a particular area, you're choosing not to be successful in other areas. So some people have suffered in terms of their romantic relationships, and they want to be in a romantic relationship, or family relationships, or with friends. Some people don't go to the gym. Some people, they sacrifice because they're making one area of their life work. So that being said, I think it's important, and I did a seminar on this, and I had a presentation mostly set up, and then I had a colleague co-present with me, and she added a slide and like a reference, and it was about a 26, 27 slide presentation. And we did this just recently. It was interesting because we talked about how time management is important, and you want to have a time management device like a tablet, right? Just a quick tablet to organize your day, your schedule, your events, and then you can kind of go to that and you can look at your life visually. You also want to be extremely organized, and you want to also have an exit plan if you're going to leave work. So what are the ramifications? You've heard Susie Orman and many other people say about a 6 to 8 month savings plan. This is very common. So you should have some money saved so you can transition or downsize. The issue too with benefits is something interesting. So I had a particular case where I was full-time with a company, and I was full-time for a year, and then they had some changes due to enrollment, and then I was made a contract employee again. I lost my benefits, and my vacation time, I lost 15 days, which were paid time off, but they had to sign a contract. And this is some years back. And what ended up happening was I didn't get those days, so I never took the vacation, didn't get paid for them, and then I was back to earning less because I was a contract employee. So then the question becomes, and I've had people ask me, I've had students ask, I've had other colleagues ask, what happens if you are trying to create a work-life balance and somebody says no, or the boss says no, or what happens when you feel that you're not being appreciated in the way that you want? People do leave. Research shows that people leave in 85% of the cases where if they have a personal or professional disagreement, like constant with a boss or a supervisor or in other situations. But other people leave, and I read a lot of reviews on this, because they see no pathways for upward mobility. So in a company, like if I look at a company like P&G or GE here in Cincinnati, one of the things is these places, they have a very good pathway set up for promotions, and they also do another thing. They also help you to develop professionally. They bring in trainers. They want the best for their employees. They do pay attention to work-life balance. I'm not recruiting for them or anything, but these companies allow you to invest more. It can happen to where you invest. Have you ever found it? I know colleagues, plenty of colleagues, and having had it happen in my own life, where you invest, 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 and you don't feel supported or appreciated, and you kind of realize that your time in a company has run its course. Now, the exit point can be done for you. Somebody could fire you. You could choose to leave, and then you can downsize, stay with the company and downsize. The thing I realized is that the values, the mission, vision, and values of where you are should value with you. So it should line up with you. So with the example that I gave you earlier in creating a work-life balance in my own life, I had done more and more, even while I was brought back to a contract status with the company. And then I realized, well, I'm doing the best that I can, and obviously can still improve and grow. But the reciprocal loyalty is not there. In other words, I was told that after a year that I would be full-time again, me and another teacher, myself and another teacher. That never happened as new programs were added and enrollment was increased. And what ended up happening was they had two other instructors that were made full-time, not necessarily as our replacements, but it does make you wonder, well, and this is not to say anything about, I loved, of course, the place and everything, but I'm just saying that it does make you think about, well, something is not adding up here in terms of if you're demonstrating company loyalty and you have seniority and you've been around a while, do not necessarily think that that means that your pathway is going to go in a particular direction, because I can tell you that in a previous position, there was this upward mobility, whereas it just kept going up and up and up. And I realized that that's not the direction I wanted to go. So the question is, you have to ask yourself, how far do you want to go with the company? Look at the treatment. Look at the treatment in terms of, oh, okay, I see that maybe, this is the situation and whatever it is, and you're happy for the success of everyone, in a company, whether they're getting promoted or changing their status. People have different life priorities, and everybody's doing the best that they can. The company's doing the best they can. But it does make you wonder that if you give everything to a company, and you could maybe do better, and especially if it was not performance-based, how do you create that work-life balance to where you don't feel like you're giving everything you have to the company? And, I know that Susie Orman said this in one of her videos too. She says, if you have a company that's wanting you to do something, you just say yes and you just do it. That's true, and you keep getting promoted and promoted. I've seen people get promoted and promoted and promoted, and they get laid off. So it's just not a guarantee that even if you keep going up, that it's going to ensure the safety of your position. They say that the higher up you go, your position is riskier, and there's more accountability, and the rewards are greater. So it's kind of like you always need to be looking for work while you already have a position. So you're very attractive when you're already employed, and it helps you and you have money saved up, you have a plan, and you have a couple other things to fall back on, or you have multiple streams of income. And what I've learned that peace of mind is worth more than any paycheck. So I'm going to actually have a second part that, where I'm going to continue with this, and I'm going to actually talk about the work-life balance in different areas of your life and how to maybe bring more balance to those areas. But for now, I just wanted to maybe talk a little bit about, are you working too much? I mean, do you feel like you're putting all this energy and time into a position that you feel is not reciprocally rewarding you? When you feel that you're doing everything, or even if you feel that it is, do you feel that some shifts in the company are not maybe in line with where you thought you should be? And is it time to exit? These are things to think about as we start part one. This is part one of work-life balance as we start part two. So we'll be talking about this. Okay, so I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in part two.